Hi, I'm Therese with Polka Dots. April is watercolor month at Polka Dots. We're doing a watercolor class featuring Twinkling H2O's watercolor paint. For example, in this card, we're using the paints here. That's something you can learn by taking the class. I wanted to show you something a little different by using a different medium. Watercolor, you can use lots of different ways to get a watercolor effect. You can use water brushes, different mediums, and things like that. You saw a little bit of the Twinkling H2O's watercolor paint. I wanted to show you how to use water-based markers. They work similar to a paint, but obviously in a marker form. So I'm going to take a stamp. This is a little flower pot by Art Impressions. Use my marker to go over everything. I'm going to huff on it. Moistens the ink before I stamp. Now, because it's a water-based marker, it means that I can take my brush with a little bit of water and go over the outlines, and that's going to just blend out nicely. The other thing is, if you're getting too much water, I take a non-porous item, a little dinner plate or what have you, piece of plastic, and you can use your water that way. I got a little bit too much there, so I'm just going to dab it off. And I can always bring back more color. I can draw on my palette if I dabbed off too much, or if I want to add something more in. So there's my pot. Now if I want to add some detail to it, again, I'm going to use my water-based marker, and as soon as I draw onto my palette or non-porous item, it becomes paint. I love this. I love this part because you can use your markers in different ways. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of detail to this pot by drawing a couple lines. Pick up a little bit more water. All right. So that's now my pot. And did you notice that I turn my pot this way? It's a little easier sometimes to make a straight line up and down than going across from you, because you tend to gravitate toward one side or the other. So that's why I did that. You can work with different colors. I would then use a little bit of green to stamp a vine. And just inking up in between each time. You can huff. If you're inking and stamping right away, it's not super critical that you're huffing. If it's a bigger piece, you definitely want to huff. Just going through and just highlighting those little areas with some water. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a flower. So I'm inking again, stamping. And this one I could stamp a couple times, because this one I might like the variation in the colors. Oop. And there I have a cute little flower pot.